I mean, to be fair, this literally took me a whole year to write.
This chapter took you a whole year to write. Welcome back, bros. What are we doing today, Kaput? Can you go through what Dracula's Revenge is? What are we doing for the viewers today?
Well, this is really more of a special, so...
What's a special?
It doesn't really fit. It doesn't really fit with the timeline, but a very special chapter, following the events of Dracula, pretty much.
Who is Dracula?
A dangerous vampire.
A dangerous vampire. Related to any lore that we know, or is it related to Broverse / Neverending Hell?
The lore kind of fits with the past, really. The story that leads up to the Generational War.
To the Generational War, but of Neverending Hell. Of the story
much.
Of Neverending Hell, but it's written purely by Kaput, is that right? So Judge, who is our other writer here, he hasn't done anything to this.
Yeah, he didn't write this. I mean, to be fair, this literally took me a whole year to write.
This chapter took you a whole year to write. No way.
Yeah, I'm not joking.
Okay, all right. Well, if you didn't know, we have a novel called Neverending Hell. And there's like 2 arcs and 15 total chapters now, and Dracula's Revenge is like the prologue to it. That's what Kaput is telling us. I haven't read this before, so if you're interested in the previous chapters and arcs of the novel, come to our Discord channel. All the chapters are on there, so you can click on each of these to read it. We also have a webtoon. Is that right? Can you tell us a bit more about the webtoon?
And I'm gonna have to pull up the webtoons.
Yeah, me too. That's what I'm doing right now. So I just pulled it up. So there's 4. Okay, just to give you guys a bit more visual aspect to what these guys do, Kaput and Judge. They have made manga, light novel, and just basically a whole lore and story about this universe of Broverse. We'll call it that. So you guys are welcome to check that out. It's completely free to read, and we'll just show you some pictures. There's some adult contents. Yes, please. Okay, so so you can see it's pretty legit, and it's all written in English. There are some funny scenes. Some parts are very...
Yeah, there is some funny scenes.
There are some funny scenes, yeah. There's some very beautifully crafted frames of this manga, so check it out. It's on our webtoon. I'll leave a link in the description below to both the Discord for the light novel, which is well ahead of the manga, and also a link to the webtoon, which is very slow behind. It's on a hiatus right now, as Kaput has mentioned, but that's okay, because
we wanted a novel to get ahead.
Yeah, we do want a complete story, don't we? At some point, we want to have a complete story. All right, here we go. So we're going to read the whole story, word for word. So you're welcome to play this video on your drive home or on your drive to work and get the story of Dracula's Revenge. It will be the entire story. All right, so we're going to start off with: the tale unfolds in a distant era, long preceding the onset of the Generational War. Unique in its essence, this is the legend of a vampire often called Dracula. The narrative commences 5 million years in the past, revealing a colossal, ancient castle brimming with opulence. Within one of its chambers, faint sounds of a discontented child can be heard. A discontent child. All children are discontent. Alright, here we go. Dracula, 1 step, 2 steps. Saria, that's a new name, so there's a new character. It's too difficult. Saria stumbles and Dracula assists her to her feet. Dracula says, "Lean on me, Saria, like a balance beam." Saria clutches Dracula's hand, begins to walk. There we go. 1, 2, 1, 2. It sounds like Dracula's kid. Maybe he had a daughter. Dracula releases Saria's hand, causing her to waver momentarily, but she regains her equilibrium and starts walking slowly on her own. Dracula smiles with joy, witnessing his daughter's newfound ability to walk independently. Dracula says, "At this rate of progress, you'll be walking confidently before your birthday arrives. I wonder how old she is." Saria smiles at Dracula, gazing into his eyes. Saria says, "Really? It's all so challenging." Dracula says, "Don't worry, I'll be by your side every step of the way." Syria embraces Dracula tightly. Did you promise? Dracula says, of course. He chuckles softly upon hearing a knock at the door. Both Dracula and Syria turn their heads toward the door as though they were anticipating the arrival of a visitor. Enter. As the door swings open, a young vampire, appearing to be in his prime, steps into the room. Upon entering, he respectfully bows before Dracula. His name's Onion? What is this like? Like in it's like the Japanese calling the character Naruto. That's a fish cake, right? You just call the character Onion. But yeah, I mean, if you called him Garlic, then Dracula would be afraid of him. Like, where's this going? Are we going for a whole dish? Kaput says yes, because why not? Alright, so Onion says, my apologies for intruding, my lord. I'm here to accompany Mistress Syria for her morning activities. Dracula gazes at Syria. Are you ready, Syria? Yes, Dad. So it is the daughter. Syria begins to approach Onion, taking slow steps. I'm not sure if it's the food or it's the person. No, I'm kidding. I know it's the person because it's capitalized. Good use of punctuation. I mean, not punctuation, grammar. Syria says, even though I despise having to leave and engage in these lessons, I still aspire to surpass you one day and claim the throne as the next count. Dracula's face brightens with happiness, knowing his daughter's ambitions mirror his own. Once you've finished your training with Onion, I'll take you on a journey across the earth to explore. She lights up with excitement. Really? Syria grabs Onion's hand, urging them to leave. Let's go, Onion. They hurry on out of the room. Dracula then chuckles to himself as he moves toward the window. Peering outside, he beholds a breathtaking vista of trees and skies. Below, his subjects revel in mirth and merriment. It appears almost like a paradise. However, a weighty preoccupation lingers in the vampire's thoughts. Dracula glances at his watch, realizing it's time for his meeting with the three guild leaders, Kyoju, Sora, and Lando. Dracula exits the room, making his way to the neutral hub where they are scheduled to convene. Dracula exits the room, making his way to neutral hub where they are scheduled to convene. The scene shifts to Dracula's arrival at the Land Guild headquarters. The vicinity is adorned with sculptures carved from stone depicting legendary figures of the realm, including one of Doragon. Dracula's gaze falls upon that sculpture, his expression twisting with disgust at the existence of those still worshipping her. Stepping forward, he approaches the designated meeting room only to find it completely empty. Dracula says, "This is peculiar. Could they have given me the wrong room number by mistake?" As Dracula contemplates leaving, his foot unintentionally triggers a concealed pressure plate. Activating a barrage of arrows aimed at him. Sounds like a trap. Reacting swiftly, Dracula leaps back, effortlessly deflecting every projectile. His mind reels, questioning the sudden ambush, yet his attention swiftly shifts to the enigmatic figure emerging from the shadows. Lando says, "It's a shame you managed to evade them. We intended to eliminate you right from the start." Lando, the first leader of the Land Guild. Dracula's eyes widen, but thoughts of his daughter consume him, fueling his fury as he bellows. "Where are Kyoju and Sora?" says Dracula. Lando chuckles as if reveling in a grand heist. "They were at your mansion all along. Tonight your clan shall be erased from history forever." As Lando prepares to continue his speech, Dracula delivers a devastating punch to Lando's abdomen, rendering him unconscious. Fear of his daughter's safety intertwines with concern for his people's well-being. Fueled by anger, Dracula channels his power, causing the entire building to erupt in explosion. With incredible speed, Dracula soars through the air, desperate to reach his destination in time. "Damn it, I must reach them swiftly," says Dracula. Dracula streaks across the sky, accelerating to unparalleled velocities. His flight breaks the sound barrier, leaving a thunderous boom in his wake. "Unbelievable. I was such a fool." Dracula lands on what was once his village, now reduced to ashes. His gaze sweeps over the lifeless corpses strewn across the ground, decaying slowly. Burnt ruins replace the once standing houses. The only remnant of the house is a raging inferno. They've truly done it. Desperate to detect any survivors, Dracula strains his senses, but tears well up in his eyes as the dreadful truth dawns on him. There is no one left alive for him to sense. Damn it all, says Dracula. Dracula sprints across the desolate land, desperately searching for any trace of his daughter. With each passing moment, his desperation intensifies. No, 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 please tell me this isn't true. As Dracula continues his frantic flight, he encounters an overwhelming sight, a sea of 1,000 upon thousands of lifeless corpses. Dracula is speechless. Dracula's attention is caught by a towering spike on the ground, drenched in blood. A necklace catches his eye. He halts mid-flight and descends to the colossal spike. Dracula gazes upon the pinnacle of the spike when he witnesses his daughter's hand impaled, surrounded by flames and blood. Dracula collapses on his knees, a torrent of tears streaming down his face. Amidst his anguish, a group of sea, sky, and head grunts begin to unleash harpoons towards Dracula. However, upon contact with his aura, the harpoons shatter instantly. There he is, get him, says the land grunt. The three grunts arm themselves with small grenades, launching them at Dracula. The resulting explosion engulfs the area in a thick cloud of smoke. The grunts eagerly await for the dissipation of the smoke. Did we get him? Is it over? As the smoke clears, a transformation occurs before their eyes. Dracula assumes his true form, the formidable Count Dracula. His skin becomes as pale as a ghost, his eyes glow with blood-red intensity, and his wings unfurl into a colossal bat-like appendages. The sheer power emanating from Dracula sends shivers of terror down the grunt's spines. Dracula says, "All I ever sought was peace, weary of the slaughter that plagued my kind." Count Dracula advances toward them, each step causing the entire continent to tremble. Dracula says, "All I desired was a chance to reconcile and begin anew." Count Dracula unleashes a surge of bloodlust, overwhelming the three grunts with paralyzing fear, as if the life has already been drained from their bodies. Count Dracula then says, "It appears that Sora and Kyorju have already departed, leaving just the three of you as the last standing. Your comrades have been vanquished." Count Dracula seizes the head of the land grunt, crushing his skull and ending his life. That was quick. The sea grunt, witnessing the swift defeat of his companion, futilely swings his blade at Count Dracula, well aware of its futility. Sea grunt says, "Take this!" Upon direct contact with Dracula's neck, the sword shatters in half instantaneously. Count Dracula then says, "An unfortunate day for you three." He grabs the sea grunt's head, forcefully ripping his head from his body. 2 down, 1 more to go. The sky grunt trembles in frozen fear as he attempts to speak. Dracula swiftly knocks him out with a single punch. Dracula reverts back to his normal form and walks back to the colossal spike on the ground. Holding Seria's necklace, believing her to be lost, he repeatedly bashes his head onto the ground in despair. Humans! These damned humans! Dracula ascends in the sky, taking a deep breath. "You may have emerged victorious in this battle, but mark my words, you accursed humans, the war is far from over. One day, I shall return, and one day I shall have my revenge." Alright, so now we're in the modern day, according to Kaput. Several months have passed since Ethan's defeat at the hands of Kaput. This is relating now to the Broverse story. So if you read the rest of the chapters now, you understand what's going on. Kaput, in the aftermath, Kaput and Ethan, recognizing their shared objective, decide to form an alliance. Along with Code and Biju, they embark on a joint mission, with Code departing ahead of the rendezvous with Judge. Meanwhile, the remaining leaders engage in rigorous training, preparing for an imminent battle royale that will determine the fate of Kaput. Amidst these intense preparations, a momentous occasion approaches, a rare event that takes place only once every million years, the Blood Moon. Now, this is not a Zelda reference, I don't think. The scene transitions to Zulax and Ghost, who stand at the entrance of the Blood Moon Festival, awaiting the arrival of the other guild leaders. Zulax glances at his watch, visibly annoyed. As always, he's always annoyed. Once again, they're all late. Ghost chuckles in response to Zulax's irritation. Ghost says, "Nobody's perfect, my friend. We've all been putting in our efforts during training. It wouldn't hurt to cut them some slack for a change." Ghost's remark earns him a cold stare from Zulax, unable to contain his amusement. Ghost chuckles, realizing he's about to face Zulax's wrath. Zulax tightens his fist, ready to unleash his frustration on Ghost. However, before he can continue his tirade, a voice interjects, interrupting the tension. Judge says, "That's enough, Zulax. You can calm down now." Zulax releases his grip on Ghost, turns around, sporting a smug smirk directed at Judge. "It's about time. I was starting to wonder if you lot needed replacing," said Zulax. Judge, Lotro, Lemon, Vince, Hono, Super, Shoei stand before him. Vince sighs. Vince says, "You really know how to kill the vibe, Zulax. Party pooper much?" Zulax's anger flares up as he clenches his fist upon hearing Vince's remark. "I'm not a party pooper, Vince." Before Zulax can continue his sentence, Shoei interrupts him. "Every party needs a pooper, that's why we invited you." Party pooper, says Shoei. As Shoei sings louder, deliberately provoking Zulax, his anger escalates. "Why you?" Shoei continues singing, undeterred by Zulax's mounting rage. "Party pooper!" Before Shoei can proceed with the song, Lemon strides over, delivers a swift blow to the back of Shoei's head, silencing him. Lemon sighs. Even at a time like this, he's somehow more energetic than Judge, believing he grew 5 centimeters today. Everyone except Judge bursts into laughter at Lemon's remark. Judge turns around, fixing Lemon with a cold stare. "Screw you, Lemon. Can't a man have his dreams?" Amidst the laughter, Lotro looks around and realizes that a few are still missing. "Hey Zulax," says Lotro, "where are Sam, DB, Drano, Sebas, and Narwhal?" Zulax adjusts his glasses, like in the animes, pushing them higher on his face. "Something serious about to go down. They decided not to attend tonight's festival," says Zulax. "They were too exhausted from the training." "I see." Before anyone can speak, a voice is heard approaching the group. Somebody says, "Judge, you bastard! How dare you leave us behind?" I don't know who it is. Everyone turns their head to see Komaru, Kutcher's walking toward them. "Ah, there you guys are. Sorry we're late. We had to finish our paperwork." Super says, "You've arrived just in time. The blood moon's about to begin. Let's all take a seat and enjoy this night. We won't witness another one in our lifetime," says Lemon. As the blood moon emerges, painting the skies in pure red, its eerie light envelopes the world. The festival attendees are left speechless, captivated by the mesmerizing sight. Unbeknownst to them, Judge and Vince begin to emit a radiant glow, Judge in a red aura and Vince in a green. The scene shifts to Judge and Vince, who notice their glowing forms and realize the significance of the sky and land orbs. "The orbs," says Vince. Judge ponders why they are glowing at this particular moment. Why now? They're trying to convey something. It feels abrupt. Vince walks up to Judge and slaps him slightly. Slaps him slightly. Wow, okay. That's appropriate. "It's quite obvious what they're telling us." Vince gazes at the sky, her expression filled with unease. "Can't you sense overwhelming bloodlust spreading across the continent? It's neither Kaput nor Ethan's." Judge's nervous expression turns serious. "Yes, I can feel it too. Something tells me we're about to find out." As Judge and Vince continue to gaze at the sky, the scene shifts to a dark and ominous castle, revealing the throne room adorned with countless skulls. I'm guessing this is where Doragon comes in. Resting on the skulls are tattered garments representing the ancient sea, sky, and head guilds. Seated upon the throne is Dracula, wearing a sinister smirk. I'm gonna guess that when he said head, he meant land at this point. Same as the last time he said that. That's probably a typo. "How intriguing," says Dracula reaches for his glass of red wine. During my absence, the guilds plunged into a war that spanned centuries. Dracula rises from his throne and approaches a window, gazing out at the blood moon. And then a few months ago, two beings emerged surpassing anything this world has ever witnessed. Dracula takes another sip of his wine before placing the glass back on the throne. Kaput and Ethan, fascinating humans. Even I now understand why Doragon takes an interest in these fools. Dracula finishes his wine, smashing a glass bottle against the throne. Dracula then says, surviving an encounter with Tax is a truly remarkable feat as well. Dracula's expression turns grave. They will prove to be a challenge. With a snap of his finger, Dracula summons two vampires to his side. A male and a female materialize before him. The female possesses long dark hair emanating an aura of bloodlust capable of instilling terror across the realms, across the entire realm. The male, solidly built, appears as though he could bench press the moon. That's an interesting description. Somebody is so strong he could possibly bench press the moon. I mean, that's one way of exaggerating things. But I guess it worked in this story. Veronica, Saber, I have a task for you. Eliminate Vince and Judge. Veronica and Saber's eyes widen in disbelief, not expecting such a command from their master. Are you certain about this, master? They could become formidable vampires. Indeed. And what of Kaput and Ethan? Can you truly defeat two individuals who survived an encounter with Tax? Dracula releases a surge of bloodlust, silencing Veronica and Saber. The power they exhibit far surpasses any mortal we have witnessed. Yet, thanks to the blood moon, I shall personally extinguish their lives. Dracula fixes them with an icy stare as he rises from his throne, his colossal bat wings unfurling. Dracula says, your sole objective is clear. Do not dare to disappoint me. Those two girls gulp in fear as Dracula strides out of the throne room, his maniacal laughter trailing behind. As Dracula departs from his castle, an onslaught of vampires descend upon the public, causing chaos and panic. Even the heads of the guild struggle to protect the populace. Our focus shifts to Schwintz, Judge, Lemon, Zulak, Shoei, Ghost, Lotro, Hono, Super, Kutchis, and Komaru as they battle the vampire horde. Super leaps into the air, slicing two vampires in half, but she grows increasingly concerned by the overwhelming numbers. This is getting tiresome, says Super. Where are they all coming from? Zulak swiftly neutralizes a vampire about to attack. A woman, saving her just in time, trusts Zulak to do the right thing. Damn it, how did we let ourselves get caught off guard again? Komaru smirks, provoking Zulak. Well, it's no surprise really. After all, we have you as a guild leader. Zulak clenches his fist, glaring at Komaru. Do you want me to blast you right now? Komaru chuckles, delivering a kick that sends a vampire crashing into a nearby house. Listen up, everyone. No matter which way we look at it, we need to split up and help as many survivors as we can. We're facing something far beyond our knowledge. Ghost cuts through multiple vampires, shouting amidst the chaos. I wonder what gave it away, the fact that we're fighting creatures of legend, or the looming threat of Ethan joining the fray for more chaos. Zulak's now haunted by the possibility of Ethan's interference, screams internally. Both, you imbecile. Judge's aura once again emanates a bright red light, capturing everyone's attention. He addresses the group. Listen up, fools. Everyone gazes towards Judge. We may have been divided due to Kaput's situation. I know some of us have personal issues, but now we must unite for the sake of the people. Komaru Kutchis return to guild headquarters and awaken the other four idiots. Got it, boss. Zulax, Hono, Super, Lotro, Ghost, and Lemon, you are responsible for protecting the civilians. They all nod in agreement, swiftly setting off to fulfill their assigned task. Vince, you're with me. We'll hunt down Kaput. Vince affirms Judge's directive. Right. I want to properly express my gratitude to him for putting a stop to Ethan. Then let's find him. As Judge and Vince take to the skies, they are intercepted by two mysterious guests, forcing them to land alongside the enigmatic adversaries Veronica and Saber, Dracula's formidable right-hand warriors. Veronica wears a cocky smirk. She says, hate to break it to you, but if you want to reach Kaput and Ethan, Saber bursts into laughter. You have to go through us first. Judge smirked, his aura intensifying. I see. Vince laughs with excitement. Very well then. Vince locks eyes with Veronica and Saber, her stare chilling to the bone. Kaput lets out a sigh, his gaze fixed on the blood moon. It's been a pleasant few months admiring the night sky and stars, but there is something about tonight that makes it even more captivating. I wish we could have more nights like this. Ethan chuckles. Can't believe I'm saying this, but despite being stuck with you, this night is truly beautiful. Bijou glares at them both, preparing to close her eyes. Shut up and go to sleep, you idiots. The sooner we reach those guilds, the sooner I can be done hanging out with the two of you morons. Kaput and Ethan look at each other, bursts into laughter. Bijou grows irritated and clenches her fist. What's so funny, you imbeciles? It's you, Bijou. We're laughing at you. Ethan laughs even harder, provoking Bijou's anger, but before she can strike them, Kaput's body starts glowing with a blue aura. Ethan and Bijou both notice Kaput's radiance. I can pretty much take a guess at this point that the three auras represent sea, sky, and land. The guild leaders, the three of them must have some sort of like ancestral relation to the original three. That's why they've got this aura. Ethan says, what the hell is happening? Kaput scans his surroundings, realizing that he's glowing. Oh no, not again. What could possibly be this time? Before Kaput can finish his sentence, a barrage of blasts is unleashed upon them, obliterating the camp. The aftermath of the attack causes a massive explosion, enveloping the area in a cloud of smoke. As the smoke begins to dissipate, two unfamiliar vampires emerge from the sky. The random vampire won. Did we get them? And then the other one said, I believe so. They couldn't have evaded our attack in time. Both vampires burst into laughter, but their laughter abruptly ceases when Kaput materializes in front of them completely unharmed. Their fear replaces their mirth as they clutch each other. He's not even scratched, says one to the other. Oh no, he'll surely kill us. Kaput smirks at the two vampires. You know, you guys really need to work on your aim. Unnoticed by the vampires, Bijou sneaks up from behind and seizes one of them. Not to mention your complete lack of perception. Without wasting a second, Bijou promptly obliterates the vampire, reducing the vampire into countless fragments. The vampire trembles in terror, backing up slowly. Not to mention, they lack the power to even hurt us, says Ethan. Ethan grabs the other vampire and smashes his skull. He lets go of the body, making it crash into the ground. Damn it, says Kaput. It looks like it's going to be a cold night of sleep. Kaput turns around only to find that Bijou and Ethan are nowhere in sight. What? Where did they go? What happened to them? As Kaput whirls around, a shadowy figure looms behind him. Apologies, says Dracula. Human. But your companions are currently preoccupied with my underlings. Dracula's lip curl into a slight grin as he unleashes his overwhelming bloodlust. Kaput jerks around, surprised by the sudden presence. As he gazes at Dracula, he notices the unmistakable fangs protruding from his mouth. Sorry, pal, but Halloween isn't until next month. Come back when I've got a free candy van, you fool. Dracula chuckles. Ah, you misunderstand, human. I am no more costume trickster. I am no mere costumed trickster. I am the genuine article. Dracula smirks as he witnesses Kaput's eyes widen. Yes, human, revel in your fear. Kaput's eyes widen with increasing excitement in his true power surging forth involuntarily. Unaware of his own transformation, It emanates a formidable aura. Dracula's eyes widen in recognition, realizing that Kaput and Ethan possess strength beyond mere boasting. To think I'd have the chance to face something believed to be nothing but a myth is an extraordinary occurrence, one that's truly rare. Dracula stands here contemplating Kaput's confession of excitement after a moment of questioning whether Kaput is merely foolish or ignorant. He finally addresses Kaput with a resolute expression. It seems I've underestimated you, but I expect nothing less from a man who survived a brawl with tax after all of all creatures. Both men assume combat stances, locking eyes to prevent any surprises. So you're familiar with tax? Interesting, but it holds no significance to me. I must dispose of you swiftly to continue my plan of defeating tax. Dracula smirks. A bold statement, indeed, human. If you believe defeating me will be so effortless, I shall grant you the first strike. If you believe defeating me will be so effortless, I shall grant you the first strike. Make it count or you will rue the consequences. Kaput gives Dracula a cocky smile. Sorry to burst your bubble, but I need only 30% against you. Kaput charges directly at Dracula, his fist poised to strike. He inches closer, merely centimeters away, delivering a powerful blow. Dracula then says, "Come at me, human. Let's see if you manage to make use of this free punch." Kaput's fist connects with Dracula, causing a powerful impact that shakes the entire area. A massive cloud of smoke engulfs the surrounding area. Kaput bursts into laughter, believing he has successfully vanquished the legendary creature. How's that for an attack? The mighty mythical bastard is now undoubtedly dead. Kaput's laughter gradually subsides as he turns around, stunned to find Dracula still standing, wearing a confident, amused expression. Dracula says, "I can now understand why you survived against tax. You possess a natural gift for growing in strength. However, I'm afraid your talent won't be enough to secure a victory in this battle. Now it's time for me to turn to demonstrate my power." As Dracula finishes speaking, he smirks and delivers a swift kick to Kaput's stomach, causing him to cough up blood. Kaput is sent hurling across the area, causing a crashing into a nearby cliff. Damn, what just happened? It felt like I was being struck by 1,000 Ethans. Kaput slowly raises his feet. If Dracula is as formidable as Tax, then I'm in real trouble. Dracula appears before Kaput, applauding him sarcastically. Bravo, young one. You survived that attack and managed to get back up. Your resilience is impressive. Now will you show me your full power? Or do you still believe you can defeat me without unleashing your true strength? Choose wisely, or you will regret it. Dracula, caught off guard by Kaput's increased speed, finds his fist caught in Cap's strength. Dracula feigns surprise at this unexpected turn of events. What the? Kaput swiftly retaliates, delivering a powerful kick to Dracula's face, followed by thrusting his palm forward, generating a small shockwave that propels Dracula backward. I see now that underestimating you was a grave error. However, if you think that's enough to defeat me, you sorely are mistaken. Dracula's malevolent grin widens, casting an ominous aura that shrouds the surroundings in a thick, dark cloud. The moon remains the only source of illumination amidst the darkness. Cap's eyes widen in alarm as he realizes the extent of Dracula's hidden power. What in the world is happening here? Could he truly be one of those formidable pantheons code mentioned? If that's the case, I might be in serious trouble. Without a moment's hesitation, Dracula materializes in front of Cap, launching a devastating punch directly into his stomach, causing his rib cage to shatter. Cap gasps for air as Dracula's grip on his neck tightens, making it increasingly difficult to breathe. It seems you're unwilling to heed my warning, says Dracula. I've exercised great patience, but if you refuse to unleash your hidden power, then I suppose your fate is sealed. Dracula's sinister fingers slowly penetrate Kap's neck, eliciting agonizing screams of pain. This is the consequence of disregarding your elders, young one. Farewell, valiant warrior, for time will forget your name. Just as Dracula is about to deliver the final blow, a commanding voice echoes from behind him, "Hey, you!" To the astonishment of everyone present, Ethan propels himself forward with a swift kick, causing Dracula to release his grip on Kap. Dracula hurtles through the air, propelled several feet away. Dracula grunts as he regains his footing, his eyes fixed on Ethan. Ethan says, "No one tries to kill that damn fool except me." Ethan's body undergoes a transformation, assuming his false godly form from the wall. Realizing Ethan's identity, Dracula breaks into laughter as if he had stumbled upon the fabled treasure of unimaginable worth. What is this? Both of Tax's disciples working together? Truly a spectacle to behold. Ethan's face twists into an evil grin, ready to banish Dracula back to the depths of hell. "You bet I'm here." Ethan shoots Tax a chilling glare, capable of freezing the soul of anyone who dares to meet his gaze. "I've come to drag you back to the hell for interrupting our relaxation." Rage clenches Ethan's fist as he lets out a scream of thunderous that it reverberates across the entire area, reaching even the farthest corners. Your fight is now no longer with that fool. His fate is no concern of yours, am I crystal clear? Kaput, in his pretense of being unconscious, contemplates inwardly. Even though we're enemies, I owe Ethan my thanks, but for now he must face this demon alone. I'll await my chance to join the fray. Dracula grins with unwavering confidence as he holds a hidden plan against Ethan. Is that so? Well then, let's seize the shatter and let our fists do the talking, shall we? Upon uttering those words, Dracula charges at Ethan with relentless force, his bloodlust intensifying with each second. I thought you'd never ask. Ethan launches a punch straight at Dracula's face, but Dracula swiftly counters with a powerful punch of his own, creating a burst of energy upon impact. The force of this crash sends Dracula staggering back a few feet. Unfortunately, Ethan is propelled even further, soaring through the air like a rocket. Ethan swiftly regains control and propels himself back towards Dracula, and with even greater power and speed. You won't survive this, you cheap imitation of Hisoka. As Ethan prepares to deliver a devastating kick, Dracula allows the strike to connect with his stomach. Surprisingly, Dracula seizes Ethan's leg, exerting tremendous force as he slams Ethan forcefully into the ground, causing him to cry out in agony as his bones shatter. Damn you, says Ethan. Before Ethan can utter another word, Dracula covers his mouth, depriving him of breath and placing him in a dire situation. Ah, I relish the sound of your bones breaking. Ethan struggles desperately to break free, but his efforts are in vain as he gradually loses consciousness in the midst of his fading awareness. Ethan notices Dracula raising his other arm, radiating the sinister crimson glow. The camera zooms in on Dracula's face, revealing a maniacal smile. I suppose this is where our little game ends, Tax pupil. Dracula prepares to strike Ethan's chest, but just as he is about to land the blow, an unexpected interruption occurs. Oceanus burst mallet, says Kap. As if by a miracle, Kaput conjures a colossal mallet made entirely of water, swinging it with immense force to strike Dracula squarely in the face, launching him into the nearby mountains. Before Kaput can even blink, Dracula instantly teleports above Ethan and poised to deliver a fatal blow. Not so fast! Kaput manages to land a swift kick on Dracula, sending him tumbling aside, granting Ethan an opportunity to raise his feet, now fully aware of Dracula's speed. Ethan says, damn it, how can this mythical bastard be so incredibly fast? Ethan swiftly unleashes a blast with blinding speed, causing both Dracula and Kaput to abruptly halt their clash and teleport away to evade the imminent explosion. Ethan begins to chuckle softly, thinking he had landed a hit on Dracula. However, a voice interrupts his amusement. Dracula says, "You're far too slow, you egoistic baboon." In an instant, Dracula materializes before Ethan, delivering a gut-wrenching punch that forces him to cough up copious amounts of blood, sending him hurtling down to the ground. Now it's your turn. Dracula swiftly pivots and delivers an instantaneous punch to Kaput as he materializes behind him. The blow is so swift and powerful that Kaput can scarcely register if he moved at all. Damn! Before Kaput complete his sentence, Dracula seizes his face, hurtling him to the ground beside Ethan. Damn, we can barely catch our breath, and we haven't even left a scratch on this bastard. Kaput manages to stand up, though his breathing is strained. Hey, Ethan, can you still fight? Ethan rises fully, his fists clenched in frustration. Do I need to answer that question? Before either of them can take a step forward, the sound of Dracula's applause fills the air. Bravo! 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 Says Dracula. Dracula stands there wearing an enormous smile, his ego swelling with confidence. You both are gasping for breath, second after second, and yet... Dracula's smile widens even further, exuding unwavering confidence. You remain so persistently unwilling to surrender. Dracula's cold stare intensifies as he creates a massive portal, forcibly dragging Ethan and Kaput into it. Dracula says, and I know just the place to send you. Straight to hell. To their astonishment, Kaput and Ethan find themselves outside a colossal castle. Dracula turns around, positioning himself at the entrance. This is my castle, where I have resided for countless millennia. It was here that your ancestors mercilessly slaughtered my kin, all because we sought peace. Dracula's fist clenches tightly and a wicked smile spreads across his face, revealing his madness. Dracula's fist clenches tightly, a wicked smile spreads across his face, revealing his madness. Now face me, so I can exact my revenge upon that rich Gyoju. Dracula begins to advance toward Ethan and Kaput, their breaths still held heavy. Kaput turns to Ethan, speaking urgently. Listen, it's clear that neither of us can beat him alone. Our only chance lies is combining our powers and striking as one. Ethan becomes frustrated. I don't take orders from you. Kaput smirks. I had a feeling you would say that. Dracula charges at Kaput and Ethan. Here he comes. Ethan bellows in anger. Damn it! Both Kaput and Ethan surge forward, meeting Dracula head-on. The scene plunges into utter darkness, the only signs of the fierce battle being echoing cries of Muda and Order from Kaput and Ethan. The scene transitions back to the United Guild, where Judge and Vince find themselves locked in fierce battle against the formidable duo of Saber and Veronica. The vampire adversaries prove to be overwhelming in force, effortlessly deflecting their every attack and leaving Judge and Vince battered and bruised. Saber's laughter fills the air, brimming with arrogance. Saber then says, "Pathetic humans! Your feeble attempts are like child's play, powerless against the might of vampires." Veronica joins in, taunting their opponents. Humans resort to treachery and violence, sacrificing their own kind for personal survival. When faced with a direct confrontation, you're as helpless as newborns. You cannot even protect your own brethren. Saber wears a confident smirk on his face. Indeed, they cannot. Saber is the dude. Indeed, they cannot. I changed my voice. Humans are skilled at eradicating races, not safeguarding them. They committed genocide against our vampire kin and countless ancient races. Yet, when the tables turn, they only think of themselves and rot in hell, all of you. The moonlight casts an eerie glow on Saber's gleaming fangs, casting a sinister shadow over the entire United Guild. A single drop of blood falls from his fangs, suspended in the air. Suddenly, the solitary droplet multiplies into countless tiny drops, cascading down the guild like a relentless storm. The droplets pierce through the unfortunate souls, their lives extinguished in an instant. Vince, Judge, and other guild leaders desperately attempt to mitigate the damage, but the sheer magnitude of the assault overwhelms the efforts as the rain droplets engulfs a vast area. Judge says, "Damn it, we can't defend the guild and fight them simultaneously. We need to relocate." Vince says, "I have no other choice." Vince swiftly moves towards the glowing sky, grabbing the radiant orbs and tossing them to Judge. "By the power of our ancestral guardians, grant strength. Bestow upon us the means to protect our guild and our people." The orbs soar from their grasp, emanating a brilliant light that illuminates the entire sky. "I won't let you get away with whatever you're planning," says Veronica. She charges towards the orbs, intent on destroying them. However, a deafening explosion erupts, distorting the very fabric of reality. The four fighters find themselves no longer within the confines of the United Guild. Instead, they are trapped within a pocket dimension stretching as far as the eye can see, a cosmic expanse resembling the vastness of the galaxy, with an illusion of floating in space. Very descriptive. I love that. Veronica snarls, bewildered. "Did those orbs bring us here?" Judge and Vince share a victorious high five, their expressions brimming with confidence. Vince wears a sly smirk. "It worked! The orbs have transported us to a realm where we can unleash our full power without any restraints. With no one to protect, we can reveal our true strength against you." Judge raises an eyebrow. "Did you truly believe we were so feeble that we couldn't defeat you?" Vince's sly smirk transforms into a confident grin, while Judge's gaze turns distant and his breathing grows heavier. The comrades move forward, approaching their vampire adversaries with the hunger of lions eyeing a delectable feast. Vince's haunting laughter grows louder, blending with her unstable, piercing gaze. Vince says, "I've already tasted death, you know? Betrayed by the one I loved as a sister, mercilessly slain without hesitation. Death takes something away from you, whether it be your sanity or your humanity. But for me, I gain something far more precious. The insatiable thirst for vengeance." Vince's twisted visage gleams with delight as she closes the distance, enveloping the vampires in her frenzied assault. The composed facade crumbles, their fight-or-flight instincts kicking into overdrive as they instinctively retreat. Unbeknownst to them, thunderous footsteps approach from behind. Do you feel it? Fear coursing through your veins? Can you comprehend the terror that humans you slaughtered felt before their demise? Allow me to entertain you, to enlighten you. I will show you why humans dread their own kind. Judge takes a single step forward, and in an instant, Saber finds himself hurtling through the blurred landscape, hurtling into the abyss. Veronica witnesses this but makes no effort to assist. As Vince drives her back in a relentless clash, the two clash blades, with Vince gaining the upper hand against the vampires. "Why are you so strong? How, human? You're supposed to be inferior." Vince swiftly seals the vampire's mouth shut with a crackling thread of electrical energy. "Silence! Reflect on why you're losing to a mere human." The raging vampire cuts open her arm, allowing her blood to flow. With a swift and skilled hand, she crafts a sword from her own life essence. The two women engage in mesmerizing display of swordplay, their blades dancing in perfect harmony. Their blades entwine with deadly grace and locked with in a mesmerizing dance of death. Veronica splatters Vince with her bloodied sword, seizing a split-second opening, but the cunning Vince strikes the blood sword. Infusing with surges of electrical energy, the resulting explosion blinds Veronica, her eyes tainted with her own blood. Shrieking, "What have you done? I can't see a thing," says Veronica. Panicked by her loss of sight, the vampire desperately tries to flee. However, Vince swiftly closes the distance, standing before her with a menacing aura of electricity and bloodlust, capable of obliterating someone 5 times over. "I've often wondered what it would feel like to be instrument of someone's demise. Finally, I have the answer." Vince cackles with twisted glee. Vince thrusts her blade upward, causing the very ground beneath Veronica to rumble. A pillar of lightning, empowered by the Sky Guild orb impales the vampire. She wails in agonizing pain as the electric current reduces her to a charred husk, crumbling into ashes. Vince wipes the blood from the weapon, a wicked smile playing on her lips. So, this is the sensation of vanquishing a vampire life. Now I understand why Bijou did what she did to me. It's an intoxicating rush, one that leaves you intoxicated with power. Vince's confidence radiates from her. Vince perhaps being consumed by revenge isn't such a bad thing after all. The scene shifts to Saber, still hurtling through the air, unable to hold his momentum. Enraged, he watches as Judge swiftly closes the distance and delivers a powerful punch, hurtling him towards the endless abyss below. Saber clenches his fists, his rage intensifying. Do not grow so cocky, human. Lord Dracula entrusted me with your defeat, and I will not fail. I shall demonstrate my might and make you bow before me. Regaining his footing, Saber plunges his hands into the darkness of the dimension. From its depths, a scythe made of pulsating blood rises and whirls into his grasp. It seems like they have the same skill, the two vampires. Gripping it as if his life depends on it, he swings wildly, splashing blood in all directions. The blood rises and spirals into a vortex, morphing into countless bats that flood the dimension, surging towards Judge. I shall drain your very life force and leave you empty. You speak of fear, yet you fear not the true might of a vampire. Behold, this is the fury of the millions of vampires who perish at the hand of humans, many of whom were slain under the first guild leader, Land Guild leader. This is retribution. It is the duty of a leader to bear the sins of those who came before, and those who will come after. I shall embrace those sins and reduce you to dust. The enraged vampire screeches with fury, unleashing a cacophony of shrieking bats upon Judge. Saber magnifies the size of his scythe, leaning into the air to reflect the galactic lights of the dimension onto Judge and Vince. With all his might, he hurls the weapon into the swarm of rampaging bats hurtling towards Judge. Judge remains calm, opening his arm, raising it towards the oncoming onslaught. Within seconds, a mighty sphere of golden fire materializes, ascending into the sky. Fire, a force that leaves behind only regretful ashes of those it consumes, says Judge. Though this time I shall permit its presence. Rest peacefully, you pitiful creature. Return to the dust from which you came, and may your sins find redemption to the other side. I'm certain those you have slain eagerly await your arrival in the depths of hell. Judge points his finger, propelling the cataclysmic sphere towards the swarm of bats, feasting upon them, hurtling in directly at Saber, who desperately attempts to halt its advance. No, I refuse to yield. This is not where it ends. I am just beginning. I will kill you, human. Saber seizes the sphere with all his strength, attempting to hurl it back at Judge, but his fate is sealed upon contact. Judge says, like a mouse caught in a trap, you truly possess even less intelligence than you appear. Farewell, creature of the night. Turning away, Judge walks towards Vince as the golden sphere implodes with the force of a supernova, obliterating the dimension and all within it. The orbs of the sky and land whisk the duo away from the crumbling realm, transporting them safely back to the United Guild. The scene changes as the battle reaches its climax. Kaput and Ethan struggle relentlessly against Dracula's onslaught. Each blow pushes them closer to their limits, their bodies battered and bruised. Take this, says Ethan. Ethan manages to find a surprise punch on land a surprise punch on Dracula's face, momentarily catching him off guard. Dracula says, "What? I didn't sense you coming." Dracula realizes the victory may not be as assured as he once believed. His madness takes hold. He transforms into his fearsome Count Dracula form. With a blood-curdling scream, he unleashes blood-red vines from his hands, ensnaring Kaput and Ethan, their bodies crushed within his tight grip. You insignificant rats have annoyed me for long enough. Dracula's laughter echoes through the battlefield as he tightens his grip, making it increasingly difficult for Kaput and Ethan to breathe. It's over. Pain courses through Kaput and Ethan's body, their screams of agony filling the air. The acceptance of defeat begins to settle in. We can't win, says Ethan. Kaput screams in agony, his voice strained. It's no use. He's too powerful. Suddenly, Kaput finds himself transported into his own mind, standing in a familiar realm, the same where he awakened his powers. Before him stands Kyoju, the first sea head dressed in ancient attire. Kaput tries to speak, but Kyoju silences him and begins to impart his wisdom. You found yourself in a life or death situation once again, hey? Kaput locks eyes with Kyoju, a glimmer of hope igniting within him. Listen carefully. There's one final trick my power has to offer. Extend your hand to Ethan and allow me to temporarily bestow the same power upon him. Good luck, brat. Kaput, unable to speak, nods in understanding as he slowly fades back into reality. Determined, he reaches out his trembling hand to Ethan, grasping for air. Ethan, trust me. Give me a hand with all your strength. Kaput coughs, blood stained on his lips, his voice barely a whisper. Kaput says, there's one final gamble I have up my sleeve. Ethan stares at Kaput, uncertainty and determination warring within him. He knows there may be no other way out of this dire situation, so he musters all his remaining strength and extends his trembling hands towards Kaput. Very well. Both Kaput and Ethan grimace in excruciating pain as they strain to connect their hands with every fiber of their beings. They push through the agony, driving by an unwavering determination. As their fingertips finally touch, they lock eyes, their resolve unwavering. There's only one way to win, both of them said. A surge of energy surges through their intertwined hands, causing the battlefield to quake in response. A brilliant bright blue light envelopes them, shrouding them in an aura of immense power. A massive smoke screen billows forth from the ensuring explosion, leaving Dracula astonished by their ability to break free. His expression shifts from surprise to growing concern as he senses the surge of unparalleled power emanating from Kaput and Ethan. Count Dracula says, "What have they done?" As the smoke dissipates, Kaput and Ethan stand side by side, the figures bathed in radiant blue aura. True power of the seas, says the two of them. Kaput's eyes lose their pupils, consumed by the radiant blue aura that now envelopes them. The power emanates fiercely from his eyes, a testament to the boundless strength he possesses. Kaput in power of sea form. With this power, we will save everyone. Ethan's eyes mirror Kaput's transformation, his own pupils replaced by the radiant blue aura that emanates with incredible intensity. Ethan in his power of sea form. We won't be defeated. Dracula's surprise turns to anger as he realizes the magnitude of their power. You won't defeat me, says Dracula. Fueled by fear and desperation, Dracula conjures a swirling vortex of darkness, preparing to unleash his final desperate attack. The dark vortex spreads across the sky, casting a foreboding shadow upon the entire continent. Dracula looms high above Kaput and Ethan. Ethan says, the strong always prevail. Kaput charges his attack through his left hand, memories of the journey flashing before his eyes, igniting a fire of determination within him. Kaput says, for a better tomorrow, we won't lose here. Both Kaput and Ethan complete charging their attacks to their maximum potential. They raise their fists, ready to unleash their combined power in a synchronized battle cry. Dracula hurls the tornado towards Kaput and Ethan. In response, Kaput and Ethan raise their arms high, their voices resounding as they scream. Kaput and Ethan say, Draconic Burst. So I'm guessing it's like one of their strongest moves. Two colossal dragons materialize from the water, colliding with Dracula's tornado. Their might overwhelms his attack as Kaput and Ethan continue to scream with unwavering resolve. The battlefield quakes violently. The clash of elemental forces create a cataclysmic spectacle. In the end, Kaput and Ethan's combined might surpasses Dracula's, shattering the darkness and leaving him trembling in fear. Count Dracula says, "Impossible! What is this power?" Both Kaput and Ethan remain silent, their auras intensifying with confident grins. They fix their gazes upon terrified Dracula, a silent testament to their unwavering determination. Dracula's eyes glow blood red, filled with rage and desperation. "They won't stop me from fulfilling my revenge," says Count Dracula. Kaput turns around and locks eyes with Ethan, determination etched on his face. "Let's finish this, Ethan." Slightly annoyed by Kaput's earlier remark, nods in agreement. "Fine, but don't think you're giving me orders." With synchronized resolve, Kaput and Ethan charge towards Dracula, their combined strength propelling them forward. "You dare stand against me? I will crush you." Dracula unleashes a barrage of blood-red vines aiming to ensnare Ethan with incredible agility. Ethan gracefully dodges the onslaught, evading each attack with precision. Meanwhile, Kaput launches himself with a front kick aimed directly at Dracula, but Dracula swiftly evades, narrowly escaping Kaput's strike. Refusing to relent, Dracula redirects his vines towards Kaput, attempting to restrain him. However, Kaput's lightning-fast movements render Dracula's attacks ineffective. Dracula, growing increasingly frustrated, activates shields made of blood to block Ethan's incoming whirlpool. But Kaput, harnessing the power of water, surrounds himself completely in an aquatic sphere, shattering Dracula's defense. The whirlpool crashes into Dracula with tremendous force. Dracula lands heavily on the ground, struggling to remain on one knee. Fear and despair consume his once confident demeanor as he gazes at Kaput and Ethan. The heroes, their combined power surging through their veins, stand tall, radiating an overwhelming aura that casts a brilliant glow across the battlefield. Dracula is no match for their indomitable might. Your reign of darkness ends here, Dracula. Dracula trembles, pleads for mercy, his voice filled with desperation. "No, please, spare me, I beg of you." Kaput says, "Begging won't save you, Dracula. You've caused enough pain and suffering." Ethan says, "It's time for the little bat to be put down." Dracula's cries for mercy go unanswered as Kaput and Ethan remain resolute. Their eyes meet, a silent understanding passing between them. In unison, they shout with unwavering conviction. "Go to hell," they both said. The air crackles with a surge of power as Kaput and Ethan unleash their final attack. A colossal wave of water, infused with radiant light, crashes towards Dracula, overwhelming him completely. Dracula's screams of agony fill the air as the combined energy obliterates him, reducing him to nothing but ashes. As the dust settles, Kaput and Ethan stand, their bodies exhausted, battered, overwhelmed by the immense strength of the battle. They collapse to the ground, unconscious. Bijou, their enigmatic ally, approaches them with an expression of both pride and amusement. Well, you two certainly have outdone yourselves. Rest now, my foolish heroes. For tomorrow, we continue our quest back to the guilds. Bijou's voice carries a hint of sinister intent, a dark agenda hidden behind her words. With an evil grin, she watches over Kaput and Ethan, contemplating how she can exploit the power to further her own desires. Bijou says, "But let's see what the future holds. Your potential may be more valuable than you realize." Leaving them to rest, Bijou fades into the shadows, her plans veiled in mystery. Kaput and Ethan remain oblivious to her true intentions as they succumb to the healing embrace of sleep, unaware of the schemes that await them in the days to come. On the opposite side of the battlefield, a young girl with fangs sits alone, her expression a mix of sadness and relief. Seria says, "It seems my father has met his end. If only he knew the truth about Kyoju. He took me in, saved me, and even caused a century-long war because of me." Tears stream down Seria's face as she contemplates the circumstances. But he'll never know that his daughter was alive, silently watching over him. Oh well, I must stay true to my mission and report back to the Dragon. She needs to know that one of the Pantheons has been slain by Kaput and Ethan. As the sun begins to rise, the mysterious vampire girl opens a portal and disappears without a trace, leaving Kaput and Ethan unaware of her presence. The scene shifts to the aftermath of the battle. Vampires lie defeated across the battlefield and the guild leaders exhausted are strewn about. Only Judge and Vince remain standing, engaged in a conversation with Jury. Jury, can you explain what just transpired? Says Judge. I sensed 3 formidable beings earlier. 2 were undoubtedly Kaput and Ethan, but the third, it emanated pure lethality. Vince nods in agreement, intrigued by the third presence. What exactly did Kaput and Ethan face? Jury sips her tea, pondering the possibility that they encountered a Pantheon and managed to survive. The thought both terrified and fascinated her, as no one had ever defeated a Pantheon in countless millennia. Judge, do you remember what I warned you about long ago? The 7 beings you should never face, no matter the circumstances. Judge recalls Jury's earlier words. Yeah, I remember. You call them Pantheon, right? Yeah. Her gaze serious. Listen carefully, both of you. There's a chance that Kaput and Ethan's actions may bring about an even greater threat than tax. What? Something even stronger than tax? More dangerous than tax? Jury's expression turns grave, her tone filled with urgency. Yes, and if we're not cautious, our world may be in peril like never before. The scene transitions to Dragon's castle, where Dragon is accompanied by 5 other figures in a dimly lit room. Azel says, I see one of the Pantheons has fallen. Azel, the fallen angel. A man with demon horns leisurely sips his red wine. Lucifer says, it appears Dracula was defeated, and by the hands of mere mortals no less. Lucifer, king of hell. A woman with long black hair, serpent-like eyes, laughs softly, caressing her giant pet python. Incredible, Manasa says. To think 2 humans achieve such feats. I am truly impressed. Queen of all snakes. A man sits in silence, his tea nearly finished. Shesmu says, I don't care what we do, as long as we end this swiftly so I can return to my slumber. The Lord of Blood. Lastly, a woman with long white hair, green eyes speaks, her voice carrying a sense of authority. Lukotho. Is that how you say that name? To think my son was capable of defeating one of us, perhaps it was not a mistake to leave him all those years ago. Dragon ensure this matter is handled properly. The White Goddess. Dragon's smile takes on a subtly deceptive quality, her eyes shimmering with calculated intent. Dragon says, rest assured, my dear colleagues, I have already set tax in motion to apprehend Kaput and Ethan. However, their fate will be in my hands, and I shall deal with them as I see fit. Her words carry a hidden meaning, hinting at her ulterior motives. Dragon says, with a sly grin, the demise of Dracula merely serves as a convenient facade, allowing me to draw closer to Kaput. With each piece I gather, my plan for the ultimate life form inches closer to fruition. The glimmer in her eyes betrays her true intentions, a web of manipulation taking shape. Dragon says, so, my esteemed comrades, consider this meeting adjourned. But remember, everything unfolds according to my carefully crafted design. That's it. That is sort of a bit of a cliffhanger for Dracula's Revenge. I'm not sure if this is a one-off thing or if it's going to be like a multi-chapter thing. But you can certainly read more about it in our Broverse or /neverendinghell/now Dracula's Revenge Discord channel. It's apparently possibly non-canon or parallel canon. That's for you to decide. You can read all about it. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please leave a like if you enjoyed that. And here are some visuals for our characters. So this is the Dracula, Count Dracula form. So these are, I believe, AI generated images to help tell the story. This is Count Dracula according to Judge. This is Seria, Dracula's daughter. Actually, very well-fitting character. She looks like what I would expect her to look like. Yeah, like kind of young and has the fangs and the red eyes like Dracula does. I don't know who that is. Oh, okay, so the Azel, so the 5 remaining pantheons other than Doragon, Lucifer, Manasseh, Shezmu. Oh, interesting character, this one. And Lukothu, also Cap's mother. Kaput's mother is... Alright. The end foreshadows canon in the regular timeline. That's all I can say at the moment. Those are the visuals. Oh, he closed himself up. Alright, that's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. Everything you need to know is in the description below in terms of all our media, our Discord, and the webtoon.